If you take supplements for joint pain, what I'm about to tell you might truly shock you. As a bone doctor, I've seen something happen again and again. People come to me trying to fix their joint pain, but the pills they take every day are quietly making things worse. No warning, no sharp pain at first, just slow changes. One day, it's a little extra stiffness in the morning. The next, it's pain that won't go away. And the worst part? They think they're doing the right thing. They're trying to help their joints, not hurt them. But here's what I've learned from years of experience. Not all joint supplements are safe. In fact, one of the most common one-of-the-kind many people take without even thinking can increase pain, swelling, and even joint damage over time. Yes, the very thing meant to help you move better could actually be setting you back while you sleep. That's why today, I'm going to show you 4 popular joint supplements that may do more harm than good and what you can do instead to protect your joints the right way. Comment yes if you've ever taken supplements for joint pain. Comment new if this is the first time you're hearing something like this. Every day, millions of people take pills to help their joints feel better. You've probably heard of some of them: glucosamine, Mississippi M, collagen. They're sold in every pharmacy, advertised on television, and recommended by friends and even some doctors. These supplements are everywhere, and they promise to reduce joint pain, improve movement, and support your bones as you get older. Most people take them without a second thought. They believe it's just a vitamin, it can't hurt. But what if I told you that one of these very common supplements, the one that might even be sitting in your kitchen right now, could actually be making your joint pain worse? As a bone doctor, I've treated many patients who were doing everything they thought was right. They ate healthy, they stayed active, and they took their daily joint pills. But the pain didn't go away. In fact, for some, it got worse. They were confused, frustrated, and scared. That's when I started digging deeper into the supplements they were using. What I found shocked me. These trusted pills were sometimes causing more inflammation, not less. They were affecting the body in ways most people don't understand, especially as we get older. And the most worrying part? These effects often show up slowly, silently. You don't notice them right away, but one day your joints feel stiffer. You ache more in the morning, and you have no idea why. Let me tell you about Mr. Reynolds. He's a 68-year-old retired teacher who spent most of his life standing in front of a classroom. After retirement, he was hoping to enjoy long walks with his wife and play with his grandkids without pain slowing him down. But his knees had other plans. They started to ache more, especially in the mornings, and simple things like climbing stairs became harder. Wanting to take care of himself naturally, he did what many people do, bought a bottle of glucosamine sulfate. It was labeled joint support and looked trustworthy. He took the recommended dose, and when the pain didn't improve after a few weeks, he decided to double it, thinking more would help faster. But instead of getting better, his pain got worse. He came to see me after waking up with swollen knees and stiffness that seemed to hit hardest during the night. When we talked, I asked about everything: his diet, movement, and supplements. That's when I found out he was taking high doses of glucosamine sulfate every day. What he didn't know is that glucosamine, especially in large amounts, can cause sodium retention in the body. That means your body holds onto more salt and water, which can lead to swelling and inflammation, especially in the joints. And this effect tends to happen more overnight, when the body is trying to recover. Instead of healing, his knees were under more pressure. Also, not all forms of glucosamine are the same. The sulfate version, which he was taking, can be harder for the body to process in older adults. On top of that, he was also taking medication for arthritis, and the two didn't mix well. Glucosamine can interfere with how some anti-inflammatory drugs work, making them less effective. Here's the thing, glucosamine isn't always bad. For some people, in the right dose, it might help. But when it's overused or mixed with the wrong meds, it can make joint problems worse. And unfortunately, most people don't know what dose is too much. There are no clear warnings on the bottle. Mr. Reynolds had good intentions, but he didn't realize he was putting extra strain on his body. We adjusted his supplements, focused on natural anti-inflammatory foods, and gave his body time to flush out the extra salt and water. Within a few weeks, his pain started to ease. Have you ever tried glucosamine for your joints? Type G in the comments if you have. I'd love to know how it worked for you. You've probably heard that collagen is good for your joints, your skin, even your hair and nails. It's in powders, capsules, drinks, and the labels all say the same thing. Supports healthy joints or improves mobility. That's why the labels are a fade. Tara, a 74-year-old retired librarian, decided to start taking collagen peptides. She had read a magazine article about how collagen helps reduce joint pain, and a friend swore by it too. So she bought a big tub online, mixed it into her coffee every morning, and waited for results. But after a few weeks, something strange happened. Instead of feeling better, she started waking up with stiffer joints than before. Her knees ached, her hands felt tight, and she noticed her energy dipping too. At first, she blamed it on aging or weather changes, but the pain continued, especially at night. That's when she came to me for help. After we talked through her diet and daily routine, I realized the issue. She had been taking a low-quality collagen supplement made from poorly sourced animal parts, and it wasn't being absorbed properly by her body. Some cheap collagen powders are heavily processed and can carry hidden toxins or heavy metals. These can quietly build up in your system and cause inflammation instead of reducing it. She was also taking a calcium supplement and a protein shake in the same morning, thinking it would help her bones and muscles. But this combo was too much for her kidneys to handle. Her body was overloaded with protein and minerals, and instead of supporting her joints, it was stressing her organs. For older adults, especially over 65, this kind of overload can backfire quickly. When the kidneys are under stress, fluid balance gets thrown off, and inflammation goes up often right in the joints. Another problem was timing. Collagen should ideally be taken away from heavy meals or medications so your body can absorb it better. But she was mixing it with everything at once: coffee, protein powder, calcium, and her body wasn't getting the full benefit. Instead, it was reacting with discomfort and swelling. Once we removed the low-quality collagen, gave her kidneys time to recover, and switched her to a cleaner, food-based routine, her pain started to ease. No fancy pills, no powders, just real nourishment at the right time. Have you ever tried collagen as part of your routine, or are you thinking about it? Comment C below if collagen is something you've taken or considered. Let's talk about what really works and what to avoid. Let's talk about MSM, short for methylsulfonyl-methane. You've probably seen it in joint pain supplements or powders that promise to ease inflammation and support flexibility. It's often called a natural miracle for joints. And many people believe it's safe because it comes from a natural sulfur compound. But here's what most people don't know. Especially as they get older, MSM isn't always as harmless as it seems. Mr. David, a 70-year-old retired postman, came to see me because his joint pain had gotten worse, not better. He told me he had started taking MSM every morning, mixing it with his coffee like he'd seen online. He was hopeful at first, but after about 3 weeks, something changed. He began having stomach pain. His joints felt more inflamed at night, and his digestion was all over the place. By the time he visited my office, he was feeling more tired and sore than before he started the supplement. We talked through everything: his meals, movement, and medicines. That's when I realized the problem. Mr. David was also taking NSAIDs, like ibuprofen, for pain. What he didn't know is that MSM and NSAIDs can be a bad mix. Both are processed through the liver, and in older adults, the liver doesn't work as efficiently as it used to. His body was struggling to flush out the extra sulfur and chemicals, and instead of helping, the MSM was building up and making things worse. MSM can also cause fluid retention in some people, which puts extra pressure on the joints and makes pain feel worse, especially at night when the body should be recovering. On top of that, it can raise uric acid levels in the blood for some individuals, the same thing that triggers gout and sudden joint swelling. One important thing to remember is that sulfur-based compounds, like MSM, are handled differently in older bodies. As we age, our metabolism slows down and the balance of detox organs like the liver and kidneys becomes more sensitive. What might be safe in your 40s can feel very different in your 60s or 70s. That's why it's so important to take these supplements only with real guidance and to watch carefully how your body responds. When we removed the MSM from Mr. David's routine, gave his liver some rest, and focused on gentle anti-inflammatory foods, he noticed a big difference. His sleep improved, his gut calmed down, and that deep joint ache started to fade. Have you ever tried MSM for joint pain? Type MSM in the comments if you have. I'd love to hear your experience, good or bad, because sometimes what works for one person might not be safe for another. You've probably heard that omega-3s are great for reducing inflammation, and it's true, but only up to a point. When used the right way, they can support heart health, brain function, and even help with joint pain. But many people don't realize that taking too much can actually lead to problems, especially as we get older. Take Mrs. Linda, for example. She's 72, a retired nurse who likes to stay active. She had some knee pain, and after reading online about omega-3 benefits, she started taking fish oil, 1 capsule in the morning and 1 at night. At first, she felt okay, but after a few weeks, she began noticing easy bruising on her arms, soreness in her joints, and even some muscle weakness. She thought maybe she had bumped into something or just needed more rest. When she came to me, we went through her routine. She was taking a total of 2,000 milligrams of omega-3s every day, way more than her body needed. The problem is, omega-3s thin the blood. That's one of the reasons they're used for heart health. But too much thinning can cause easy bruising and slower healing, especially in older adults. And when your blood is too thin, your joints don't get the support and nutrients they need to stay healthy. Another issue is that high doses of omega-3s can block the absorption of important fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin D and vitamin K2. These two are crucial for strong bones, flexible joints, and keeping calcium in the right place in your body. Without enough of them, your joints can suffer quietly, even if you're taking a supplement meant to help. There's also a balance that many people don't know about: the ratio between omega-3 and omega-6 in your body. Omega-6 comes from common foods like vegetable oil, fried food, and processed snacks. When the ratio gets too far off, even large doses of omega-3 can't fix the problem. In fact, taking more without knowing your numbers can actually throw your body further out of balance. Mrs. Linda stopped taking the fish oil twice a day, added more real omega-3 foods like sardines and walnuts, and focused on better vitamin D and K2 support. Within a few weeks, her bruising faded, her muscles felt stronger, and her joint soreness started to ease. If you take omega-3s or fish oil, comment O below. I'd love to know how it's been working for you. Remember, even natural things can become harmful if the dose isn't right, especially when it comes to your joints and bones. Here's the truth that most people don't hear. Joint pain isn't just about cartilage wearing down. Yes, that's part of it, but there's so much more going on inside your body. Pain in your knees, hips, or hands can also come from things like poor blood flow, dehydration, inflammation, and even how your organs process the supplements you're taking. Many joint supplements fail simply because your body doesn't absorb them well. The label might say, supports joint health, but that doesn't mean your body is actually using it. Some pills pass right through your system without doing anything helpful. Others are taken at the wrong time, like with heavy meals or with other medications which blocks absorption. And a lot of cheaper supplements are packed with fillers and additives that do more harm than good. Your liver and kidneys also play a huge role here. Every supplement you take has to go through your liver, and if your liver is already working hard from meds, processed foods, or alcohol, it may not handle those extra compounds well. The kidneys are the body's filters, and when they get overwhelmed, you can end up with fluid retention, swelling, and more pressure in the joints. The gut is another big piece. If your gut health is off, even the best supplements won't work properly. Poor gut function leads to poor absorption, higher inflammation, and weaker immunity, all of which affect your joints more than most people realize. And here's something that surprises many people. Joint pain often flares up more at night. Why? Because while you sleep, your body is trying to repair itself. But if there's too much inflammation or buildup from poorly processed supplements, that repair process can't happen properly. Instead of healing, your joints get stiffer, more inflamed, and more painful by morning. This is why it's not just about what you take, it's about when you take it, how your body handles it, and what else is going on inside. Pain doesn't always start with the joint. Sometimes it starts with the choices we don't even realize we're making. Now you might be wondering, what should I do to support my joints the right way? The good news is, your body already knows how to heal. You just need to give it the right tools. And those tools don't have to come from a bottle. In fact, some of the best support for your joints comes straight from real food, simple, natural foods that your body can absorb, use, and benefit from without any confusion or side effects. Instead of fish oil pills, try getting your omega-3s from real food like sardines or a handful of walnuts. These sources give you the healthy fats your joints need, along with other nutrients that work together to fight inflammation. Want to support your cartilage and tendons? You don't need a processed collagen powder. Try bone broth made from real chicken or beef bones, or even just eating chicken skin in moderation. These natural sources are full of collagen, gelatin, and amino acids that help your body repair and protect joint tissue. You can also get joint-loving nutrients like vitamin C and sulfur from vegetables. Cruciferous veggies like broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts are excellent for reducing inflammation and helping your body rebuild healthy tissue. They're easy to cook, gentle on the stomach, and full of fiber too. And let's not forget hydration. Your joints are made up of a lot of water. Without proper hydration and key minerals like magnesium and potassium, they can dry out and become stiff. Drinking enough water and eating foods like leafy greens, bananas, and seeds can make a real difference in how your joints feel. Here's an example of what a simple, joint-friendly day of eating could look like. In the morning, start with warm lemon water to gently wake up your digestion and hydrate your body. Follow that with a breakfast of protein like eggs or Greek yogurt and some berries for antioxidants. At lunch, have steamed greens like spinach or kale with a portion of fatty fish like salmon or sardines. Add a splash of olive oil or a few walnuts for healthy fat. In the evening, a warm bowl of bone broth soup with soft-cooked veggies can be both comforting and healing. Finish with a soothing cup of turmeric or ginger tea, both known to help with inflammation and joint comfort. You don't need to do everything at once. Start small. Add one joint-friendly meal a day and notice how your body feels. You may be surprised how quickly real food can do what pills often can't. Would you like a video where I walk you through 5 easy joint-friendly meals you can make at home? Type meal in the comments if that's something you'd like to see. Let's heal smarter, not harder. Let me tell you about Margaret. She's 76 years old, a retired yoga teacher with a big heart and a love for staying active. For most of her life, she moved with ease, taught classes, and felt strong in her body. But as the years passed, she started to feel aches in her hips and knees that just wouldn't go away. She did what most people do. She turned to supplements. Her cabinet was full of them: collagen powder, Mississippi M capsules, high-dose fish oil, glucosamine tablets, and a multivitamin on top. She took them all faithfully, thinking she was doing everything right. But despite all the pills, her joint pain wasn't getting better. In fact, some mornings it felt worse. Her balance was off, her energy was low, and her knees felt stiff the moment she got out of bed. She told me, "I feel like I'm trying so hard, but nothing's working." When she came to see me, we took a close look at everything she was putting in her body, and what we found was clear: her system was overwhelmed. Too many supplements, some of them interacting badly, and very little support from real food and hydration. Her body was working overtime to process all those extras, and it was leaving her more inflamed and more tired. We made a simple plan. First, we cleared out the unnecessary supplements and focused on the basics. We added hydrating foods, real sources of collagen like bone broth, and gentle anti-inflammatory meals. I encouraged her to drink more water and add a mineral-rich pinch of sea salt to her morning routine. We also brought back slow, easy movement, not full yoga flows, just simple stretches and balance work. 60 days later, Margaret came back glowing. Her morning pain was gone. She stood taller, moved more freely, and told me her energy felt like it had years ago. Even her lab results showed real change. Her inflammation markers had dropped by 40%, and the best part, she wasn't relying on a single pill. Margaret told me, "I thought I needed more supplements, but what I really needed was to understand what my body truly needed, and it wasn't in a bottle." This is the message I want to leave you with. You don't need more pills. You need smarter habits. Small changes in food, movement, and hydration can do more for your joints than a whole shelf of supplements. Your body wants to heal you, just have to give it the chance. So if you're over 60 and struggling with joint pain, remember this: the supplements you're taking might not be helping the way you think. In fact, some of them could be quietly making your pain worse. But the good news is, you can turn it around, starting today. We talked about 4 common supplements that many people trust without question. First, glucosamine sulfate, which can cause swelling and stiffness if taken in high doses, especially at night. Then there's collagen, which sounds healthy, but in low-quality forms or when combined with too many other supplements, can stress your body and make joints feel worse. Next, Mississippi M, often seen as a natural fix, but when mixed with medications like NSAIDs, it can overwhelm the liver and increase inflammation. And finally, omega-3s, great in moderation, but when overused, they can thin the blood too much, lower vitamin absorption, and lead to soreness and fatigue. These aren't bad supplements by nature. The problem is how we use them, how our aging bodies react to them, and how little we're told about the risks. Awareness is power. When you understand what's really happening inside your body, you can make smarter choices and feel better for it. You don't have to guess anymore. You can start paying attention to what's helping and what's harming. So tell me in the comments, what's one supplement you're rethinking now? I read every response, and your story might help someone else too. And if you want science-backed, honest health advice made especially for adults over 60, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We're here to learn, grow, and stay strong together. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. That tells me you care about your health and you're ready to take real steps forward. You've got this.